Most people thought Kylie Jenner would just stay in the shadow of her famous family. But at just 21, she did something no one saw coming. She became the youngest self-made billionaire. From a simple lip kit to a massive empire, her rise was wild. This is how she built it all, and what billionaire life really looks like. In 2015, Kylie Jenner launched Kylie Lip Kits with a simple idea. 3 shades of lipstick bundled with matching lip liners, and managed to flip that into a multi-million-dollar business almost overnight. The product wasn't revolutionary, but the approach was. She used Instagram and Snapchat not just to promote it, but to create buzz in real time. Her audience wasn't guessing what she liked or wore, they were watching her apply it, wear it out, and talk about it directly to the camera. That kind of access wasn't typical from a celebrity, but it worked. The first lip kits sold out in minutes. Part of that was demand, but part of it was on purpose. Jenner leaned into scarcity, making each release feel like a drop event. Limited quantity, limited time. It created urgency, and her fans responded by buying fast. A few months later, she formed Kylie Cosmetics and took full control of the brand. She owned 100% of the company, ran it lean, and focused on digital sales. And instead of building a team from scratch, she partnered with Shopify from the e-commerce side and Seed Beauty for manufacturing, keeping her overhead low and speed high. By 2019, Kylie had scaled the brand into a global business without ever opening a physical store. That year, she sold a 51% stake to Coty Inc. for $600 million, giving the company a $1.2 billion valuation. It wasn't just a big payout, it was proof that the model she had built online was strong enough to convince a legacy beauty company to invest. And she did it before turning 23. Kylie Jenner bought her first house when she was just 17. That alone would be unusual, but it wasn't just any starter home, it was a $2.7 million mansion in Calabasas, a gated community in Los Angeles where the Kardashians have built much of their empire. It had 5 bedrooms, a massive kitchen, and enough closet space to fit a clothing line. That purchase set the tone for what would become a string of bold real estate moves that seemed more like strategic plays than casual upgrades. She didn't just collect homes, she treated them almost like assets in a portfolio. By her early 20s, Kylie was regularly buying and selling properties across Hidden Hills and Humby Hills, 2 of LA's most exclusive neighborhoods. One of the more talked about flips was a $6 million home she sold after a renovation. She made a profit not just on the sale itself, but through coverage in magazines and social media buzz. For Kylie, owning a home wasn't just about living in it, it was about owning something that also added to her public image. But the one property that really drew attention was the Humby Hills estate that she purchased in 2020 for $36.5 million. That wasn't just a house, it was a full-on compound, over 15,000 square feet, built for someone who moves through life with a full entourage. Inside, it's got everything from a home theater to a poolside cabana, and not the kind with plastic chairs and a snack bar. This one looks like it was lifted from a high-end resort. And of course, there are multiple glam rooms. That's not a Kardashian cliche, it's part of how she runs her brand. Hair, makeup, wardrobe. Those are part of her business, so those rooms matter. The kitchen is oversized and open, built for someone who's more likely to host catered dinners than make their own meals. And the outdoor space is more like a mini resort, with a pool that stretches across the yard and lighting that makes it look like a 5-star hotel at night. It's not subtle, but it's not meant to be. When you're Kylie Jenner, understatement isn't really part of the package. But it's not just her homes that scream billionaire, wait until you see how she travels. Kylie Jenner doesn't just travel, she travels on her own terms. Her private jet, a custom Bombardier Global 7500 worth around $72 million, isn't just about skipping airport lines, it's decked out in full Kylie fashion, with blush pink leather seats, mood lighting, embroidered headdress, and the name Kylie Air stitched into the interior. The design isn't subtle, but that's the point. It reflects the brand she's built. Personal, curated, and unmistakably hers. The jet isn't parked for long. Kylie regularly flies to spots like Turks and Caicos, the Amalfi Coast, and Aspen, sometimes for quick getaways, other times for photo shoots or family vacations. She often brings a full entourage, friends, her daughter Stormy, assistants, making the jet feel more like a flying living room than a mode of transport. These trips aren't just about escape, they're part of how she maintains her brand. Posts from the jet or remote beaches end up across her Instagram, where every shot becomes content that feeds the larger machine of Kylie Inc. There is also a practical side to it. For someone running businesses, filming reality TV shows, and raising a child, commercial flying isn't always realistic. Kylie's schedule shifts fast, and private air travel gives her the flexibility to move when she needs to, whether that's for a product launch, a red carpet event, or a family weekend in Palm Springs. It's luxury, yes, but it's also a tool when she's customized, branded, and put to work like everything else she owns. Kylie Jenner didn't climb to the top alone. She has been surrounded by people who know how to play the fame game better than most. Growing up under Kris Jenner's management meant the spotlight was always nearby, and Kylie learned early how to use it. Her mom isn't just her parent, she's also her business partner and strategist, helping guide her through deals and shaping how she's seen in public. That kind of close-knit, high-powered family support is rare, and Kylie took full advantage of it. Of course, being part of the Kardashian-Jenner crew comes with built-in clout. Kim Kardashian's massive platform made it easier for Kylie to push her own brand, especially in the early days of Kylie Cosmetics. It wasn't uncommon to see Kim or Khloe showing off lip kits, either online or on TV. That kind of organic promotion, if you can even call it that when it's all happening inside a multi-million-dollar media machine, gave Kylie a head start most entrepreneurs could never dream of. Outside of family, Kylie's social circle includes people who know how to keep attention on them. Her friendship with Hailey Bieber has been studied for years, and she's almost always seen with Anastasia Stacey Nicolo, who's becoming something of a secondary character in Kylie's social world. Whether it's a beach trip or a branded event, Stacey's there, and not just for fun. The two have done paid campaigns together, which blurs the line between friendship and business. But that's just how this world works. Then there's Travis Scott. Their relationship may not have lasted, but they're still tied together by their kids, Stormy and Air. Co-parenting with someone like Travis, who's got his own massive platform and fan base, only adds to Kylie's already broad reach. Whether they're spotted at birthday parties or in Instagram posts, their connection keeps people watching. Kylie's also a regular at events like the Met Gala, where fashion meets celebrity PR. She has been to Paris Fashion Week multiple times, and when brands like Balmain or Mugler need buzz, she is often invited front row. It's less about who's sitting next to and more about knowing she'll be talked about in the next day. Now let's zoom in on what Kylie wears and how her closet alone rivals the net worth of entire startups. Kylie Jenner's closet isn't just about clothing, it's a rotating display of power, taste, and image control. Her outfits are often built around luxury names like Balmain, Mugler, Versace, and Dior. These aren't just labels she throws on, they're tied to the fashion shows she attends, the designers she knows personally, and the carefully curated look that keeps her front and center in pop culture. Whether it's a sculpted corset by Terry Mugler or a sheer Balmain catsuit, what she wears tends to land in the press before the night's over. Her accessories take things even further. Kylie owns a collection of Hermes Birkin bags that borders on museum level. Some are rare colors or exotic materials that push their value well into the six-figure range. One Birkin alone can cost more than a house, and she doesn't just buy them, she displays them. Her closet has glass shelving and lighting set up specifically to showcase the bags like art pieces. The jewelry is just as serious. She's been spotted wearing diamond-encrusted watches and custom chains designed by big-name jewelers like Eliante and Jacob & Co. These aren't off-the-rack pieces, they're one-of-a-kind, made to order. In some cases, the diamonds spell out her daughter's name or tie back to her product launches. Even her more casual looks often feature rings or bracelets worth tens of thousands. A single Instagram post can show Kylie in a look that costs more than most people's annual salary. And that's intentional. Her style is both personal and public, calculated down to the last detail. It's fashion as identity and business strategy all in one. After the lip kits took off, Kylie didn't stop at makeup. In 2019, she launched Kylie Skin, moving into the skincare space with a lineup that included face washes, scrubs, and moisturizers. It wasn't a surprising move, but it was a calculated one. Skincare was already booming, and fans who were buying her lip products were likely to trust her with other parts of their routine. Some people criticized the walnut scrub early on, mainly over the ingredients, but that didn't seem to slow sales. The launch was massive and sold through her usual strategy: tease it online, sell it directly, and keep the packaging clean and minimal. What made the whole thing work even more was her deal with Ulta Beauty. Getting shelf space at a major retailer gave her access to a wider market. People who might not follow her on Instagram but were already shopping for skincare. It was another example of how she used her name to break into a space that's usually tough to crack. Beyond that, there are signs she's looking at other areas, even if not everything has gone public. The Kardashian-Jenner family reportedly has a shared investment office, and there have been whispers about Kylie putting money into startups through that. It wouldn't be surprising. A lot of celebrities do this quietly, buying stakes in new brands without making a big announcement. It's more about long-term payoff than social media buzz. There is also a trail of trademark filings under her name that give hints about what might be next. Some are for baby products, which makes sense given she has 2 young kids. Others cover fashion and even alcoholic beverages. It doesn't mean all of them will turn into full products, but they show she's thinking about how to expand her brand beyond beauty. Filing trademarks is just a way to secure the name before someone else does. Whether the idea turns into anything is another story. All this success? What's the price? The pressure, the public image, the scrutiny? Kylie Jenner has built a business empire and a lifestyle brand, but it hasn't come without pushback. In 2020, Forbes made headlines when it retracted her billionaire status, saying the financial figures tied to Kylie Cosmetics had been overstated. The magazine originally gave her the title based on her stake in the company and the Coty deal, but later claimed the numbers provided by her team didn't fully add up. It sparked a wave of debates about wealth, image control, and what being a billionaire really means in the influencer age. She's also taken heat for her private jet use, especially for short-haul flights. One trip between Van Nuys and Camarillo airports, a drive that takes about 45 minutes, sparked outrage when flight tracking data showed it lasted just 17 minutes in the air. Critics called it wasteful and tone-deaf, especially as climate conversations ramped up. She didn't respond publicly, but the incident added fuel to ongoing conversations about celebrity excess and environmental responsibility. Then there's the self-made label. When Forbes first called her the youngest self-made billionaire, the internet had opinions. A lot of them. The main critic, that being born into the Kardashian-Jenner machine came with access, connections, and visibility that most people could never buy. Kylie responded by saying the term made sense because she had to work to turn that platform into an actual business, and that her success didn't come automatically. But still, none of these criticisms have stuck long term. That's partly because Kylie controls her media presence so tightly. From Instagram to her curated interviews, she rarely veers off script. Every post, product, or public appearance feels deliberate, crafted to maintain her position not just as a celebrity, but as a brand. She knows the audience and, more importantly, how to keep them looking. Whether you're praising her or questioning the numbers, the attention still works in her favor. By 2025, Kylie Jenner has more than 400 million followers on Instagram. That kind of number is hard to process. It's more than the entire population of the United States. And with that kind of reach, nearly everything she posts turns into news. Sometimes literally, with headlines written about a single selfie or a caption people think has hidden meaning. But more than the attention, what really matters is the control it gives her. She doesn't need to go through magazines or traditional ads to sell something. She can post a photo or a video, and the orders start rolling in. She's been doing it for years, but she's sharpened the formula. Instead of big polished campaigns, she often drops new products or collections using her Instagram stories and reels. There's no middleman, no expensive commercial on TV, just a few well-edited clips of her wearing or using the product, maybe a behind-the-scenes look at the packaging or shoot, and a link to buy it. And it works! Products sell out fast, not because people are chasing hype, but because they're used to seeing her as the face of whatever she's selling. That approach isn't limited to Instagram anymore. Kylie's team is smart about spreading things across TikTok and YouTube too. She partners with younger influencers who have huge Gen Z followings. People like Alex Earl or Monet McMichael, who have both made waves in beauty and fashion circles. These creators will unbox PR packages, try the products on camera, and share first impressions with their audiences. It doesn't feel scripted, and that makes a difference. When someone like Monet uses Kylie's skin on camera, her audience sees it as a genuine test, not a commercial. The numbers behind all this are massive. Marketing experts estimate a single post from Kylie can bring in over $1 million in revenue for a brand, sometimes more if it's tied to a launch. That's why even major companies want her involved, not just as a partner, but sometimes as a creative force behind a product line. Back when she worked with Adidas and Puma, her campaigns drove huge engagement. And when she posts about a new brand, whether it's a drink, a clothing line, or a perfume, it tends to trend within hours. What makes all this even more unusual is that she's not constantly pushing products like a traditional influencer. She chooses when to post, how often, and about what. That's the power of already having the attention. She doesn't have to chase it. So what does all of this really mean? The jets, the homes, the millions? Would you trade privacy for billionaire fame and influence? Leave your thoughts in the comments.